G'day everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. So after an exciting 2023 AFL season showcasing plenty of breakout stars in the AFL competition, in this video today I've decided to take a different turn from my usual prediction videos, as today I try and predict and give a crack on who I think will be the top 10 AFL players at the end of the 2028 AFL season, or in other words, in 5 years time. The list I have today has been hard to compile, trying to balance between the players in the early to mid 20s and also splashing in some players who've only played 1 or 2 seasons in the system. So without further ado, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you do go on to enjoy today's video, and let's get into it. Now before we get into the list everyone, of course doing these top 10 videos is very hard to squeeze in only 10 players. So I have included an honourable mentions list. Here I listed the players that I felt were very unlucky not to make my top 10, but were definitely the standouts to be in the honourable mentions. We have 𝘵𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐿, Luke Jackson, Andy Brayshaw, Caleb Serong, Noah Anderson, Connor Idun, I'm big on this guy, John Newcomb, Nick Blakey, 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐿 and 𝗦𝐶𝗰𝗶𝗹. These are 10 players I think can definitely have the potential to be in the top % of AFL players in 5 years time, but were unlucky not to make the top 10. And now moving on to the top 10. So we kick off the top 10 in 10th, and in 10th place I have Sam Taylor. When we think on who are the most valuable players in the competition, looking at the key defender department, it's hard to go past the giant Sam Taylor. Back-to-back seasons of elite football justifies the selection in this video today, already being one of the competition's premier lockdown defenders at age 24. Possessing elite intercept marking skills, defensive craft, and especially his competitiveness to not be beaten one-on-one should continue to crystallise when he pushes on to his late 20s. If he can keep himself on the park, unlike this season, expect there to be more All-Australian Blazers to come. In 9th place, I have the St Kilda young gun of Mitch Owens. When Champion Data earlier this season stated that Mitch Owens is producing similar skills and numbers to Gary Ablett Jr., many of us jumped out of our chair. But what can be agreed on is the potential in the young utility is sky high. Boasting an athletic skill set with elite overhead marking skills, Owens has been able to make a significant impact for the Saints already in his early career. Whether it's pinch hitting in the ruck, playing as a high half forward, running through the centre bounce, or impacting the scoreboard as a marking forward. Alongside the work rate and courage, he's been able to produce his eye-catching play style at ground level as well, winning contests around the footy and exploding out of stoppages and hitting the scoreboard. It's certainly a left field decision to have him as a top 10 player in 5 years time, but with the highly athletic skill set and potential he possesses, it's certainly worth to hop onto the Machado bandwagon. Moving up into 8th position now, and I have 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐿 𝐸𝐿. One of the most talked about players currently in the trading and free agency world of things, the young key forward is out of contract next year, and plenty of speculation has been built on the uncertainty of not donning the Western Bulldogs Guernsey in 12 months time. Regardless of the talks, his 3rd season in the system gives me confidence on him being in the AFL's elite in 5 years time. Being a part of a high-octane forward line, 𝐸𝐻𝐿𝐸 has not been afraid to make a high impact in the air and on the lead, which is the standout in his game. The athletic feats and already being able to win games off his own boot gives good reasoning for him to go to the next level as the years tick by, should his production and kicking consistency continue to improve. Next up in 7th position, I'm going with Sam Walsh. Don't worry Carlton fans, I haven't left out this forgotten star. It feels like a while ago now since his miraculous 2021 breakout season. 2 years in a row with little to no pre-season and a lingering back injury has been a big influence on his stagnant development. But all you have to do is flick on his 2023 finals highlights and makes you remember that the Gary Ayres medalist is a young gun not to forget on, making an impact on the competition. His elite work rate and accumulation has always been the skills that makes up who he is, but it's also the scoreboard impact that was the standout in his finals campaign. If his damage forward of centre and durability continues to head in the right direction in the coming years, for me, it's a pretty safe selection to lock in as a top 10 player in 2028. Up the charts now in 6th position, and I have Zach Butters. Ever since this young man's 2020 final series performance, you knew that Port Adelaide had a serious footballer at their club. The prediction paid off, as the hard-as-nails midfielder enjoyed a career-best season for the pair, taking home the Coaches Association Champion Player of the Year award at just 23. That feat alone makes it hard not to include him in this video today. In the words of BT, his second-to-none competitiveness, appetite for the contest, and ferocious attack on the footy can be described as a cat who hasn't been fed in 8 weeks. Feline puns aside, Butters is a player who loves to get the pill and make an impact on a high and now more consistent level from this year. And with how he plays, he still should be one of the AFL's most impactful midfielders at 28 years of age. Let's hope, however, that his injury history doesn't come back to bite him. Moving on to the top 5 now, and at 5th place I've got a big call here. I've got Will Ashcroft. At the time of recording this video, we reflect on Will Ashcroft's debut season as an up and down year. The up being his impact on the field, but the down being his unfortunate ACL injury and the lack to have a say in the Lions' oh-so-close premiership run. The young midfielder's draft year showed the AFL world on why this man has every chance to be one of the competition's elite midfielders in the future, showcasing fantastic talent on the field and especially elite preparation off the field. His ability to translate that into already a highly talented top 4 midfield of the Brisbane Lions has been the standout. The 19-year-old was able to make an impact alongside names such as Lachie Neale, Josh Dunkley and 𝐓𝐿 𝐎𝐥𝐝, displaying clean skills in the stoppage, extracting the footy well and consistently gaining first possession in the coalface. With also a knack to get on the outside and help out his teammates in transition, Ashcroft certainly has the potential and has passed the eye test on an impressive first season in an elite side. Definitely worth the crack for me to be one of the AFL's top stars in the coming years. Now moving on to 4th place, and I'm going with Errol Gulden. The Sydney Swans Academy has been able to become a footy factory for the Bloods in the last decade, but after Errol Gulden's breakout season in 2023, will this young talent be the best of the bunch? Ever since his debut, kicking 3 goals against the Brisbane Lions, supporters around the country knew this man was going to be special. Those words have already been able to take effect as the 21-year-old strung together a blistering 3rd season, showcasing elite foot skills, work rate, accumulation and high impact forward of centre. All doing this at a highly consistent rate, which already separates himself from the majority of his peers. Gulden is not only arguably a top 10 player in 2023, it's hard to argue a case on why he can't continue to build year by year. Limiting my nuffiness as much as possible as a Swan supporter, let's hope by 2028 that he has a few Charlies around his neck. Okay, I'll see myself out, I'll shut up. Top 3 now, and in 3rd place I'm going with Connor Rozee. Elite talent and consistency is hard to come by in AFL footballers, but these 2 qualities is what epitomises Connor Rozee, and what he's been able to do at age 23 gives me all the more reason to lock him in as a top 10 player in 2028. His last 2 decorated seasons for Port Adelaide have been represented with All Australian Blazers, possessing a consistent week in, week out level of elite accumulation, work rate and scoreboard impact. Alongside displaying his damage around the ground with Zach Butters, it's a midfield duo with scary potential in the years to come. So take it to the bank that Connor Rozee will continue to shine for the pair in 2028. Moving on now to who I think will be the 2nd best player in 2028, I'm going with Tom Green. Looking back at the 2019 draft, it's crazy to think how this man didn't get bid on until pick 10. Fast forward a few years later, and now we're looking at a 22-year-old inside midfield beast. Green has had his consistency issues in his first few seasons, but now after an elite 4th season in the system, capped off with an eye-catching final series, the qualities he possesses in the coalface translates into sky-high potential to be one of the best inside midfielders in the years to come. He has brilliant core strength, being able to stand his ground on the contest, and what has been a big improvement in his game is his lateral movement and scoreboard impact. Alongside his professionalism and being a part of the Marist College footy factory, you're looking at one of, or if not, the best inside midfield bull in 5 years' time. And now for 1st place, who I think will be the best AFL player in 2028. I'm going no other than Nick Daicos. As an AFL community, what a generational talent we have on our hands here. In just his second season, Daicos has been able to quite literally already be the best player in the competition, taking home a premiership medallion and almost winning every possible award under his nose if it wasn't for his injury. He's been able to stamp his authority in the AFL with his high level game awareness, ball skills, work rate, accumulation, off the field preparation, character, and most importantly, his ability to change a game with ball in hand. It's been quite remarkable on what this man has been able to do for the Pies in just 2 seasons. So crowning him as the best AFL player in 5 years' time seems like a justified prediction. And let's be honest, it wouldn't surprise many on if he's able to do it as of early as next year. So ladies and gentlemen, there is my call on who I think will be the top 10 AFL players in 5 years' time, or at the end of the 2028 AFL season. It's certainly a video I will probably want to react to in 5 years' time, so I'll be 25 years of age, and it will be interesting to see in 5 years' time how these predictions do fare. Now, as I do say again everyone, there was a lot of plays that were unlucky to miss out in this video, so feel free to comment down below and let me know what you did think of my top 10. Would you have included another player? Again, only 10 players, it's very tricky, so I do love to hear your fellas' opinions down below in the comments. Once again everyone, thank you very much for tuning into today's video. Always like to keep it pretty cruisy on the channel throughout the off season with only 1 to 2 uploads a week, so hopefully you do enjoy all the content that is coming your way, so make sure to stay tuned, and apart from that, I will talk to you later. See you later fellas.